Okay, so we're back with Sun and Capricorn, Mars and Pisces. With this placement, you can see what you want, have it planned, have it structured, and just literally feel like you're not getting anywhere. And most of the time, it's because your approach is either, well, you feel like this, or other people may feel like this. Like your approach is delusional. You're not really seeing what's really going on. How you're really being affected, what your approach really is, and it's counterproductive to what it is that you're building, you want to build, you're trying to build. You know, but like once you can see this, and once you can see that like maybe the way you dreamed things would just play out, that it doesn't always just play out like that. I feel like you can get a firmer grasp on what direction you really should take, because it could be difficult for you because you may want to have this life that you can just, that is just dependable and that is just there, and that it's just in place, but it's like at the same time it's hard to maintain, because I'm trying to fish out the words that I want to say. It's hard to maintain because with a certain type of lifestyle and to constantly build something, you gotta be there, you gotta be present to keep it up. And for a lot of you, your feelings a lot of times go back and forth. Your feelings about what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, when, what, where, and how goes back and forth. Like sometimes you can literally disappear or want to disappear. And I feel like you do want people to acknowledge, I don't even want to say acknowledge, but care about what it is that you're doing and what you represent and what you're building. It could be hard for you because when things don't really go as planned sometimes, you might want to slip into like denial about it. Drinking, like let's drink my problems away. That is a way to escape from the struggles that you may find yourself involved in. And, with this placement, I honestly feel like as much as Capricorn want to do things, as much as Capricorn values structure and stability, that Mars and Pisces like literally can have you stuck in your tracks about what that is. Like you could have the potential to run your own company, to build it yourself, but you find yourself working for other people with your life, with your actions, with what you got to do, because it's safer. And I say this: if you're gonna work for somebody, like, or work a job, work something that you like to do still. Work in an area that you like to do, because for you just, you know what I'm saying, you just like knowing what you have to do, but at the same time, so that you can get that done and you could just kind of just be. You don't want somebody on your back. You don't want somebody constantly telling you what to do. It's like, man, these are my responsibilities. I just want to just be. With this placement, there is a lot of opportunities for you to take advantage of. And I feel like it's, for you, sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. Because many of you can fall into that victim mentality to where, I can't really do this, I can't really do that. I'm limited from doing what I want, and not really see it as that. Or you could spend a lot of your time dealing with people that are delusional. They don't know how to go really get things for themselves. They're back and forth on the way they feel about something. Like, 1 minute they're saying, hey, I need you to support me because I want to do this. I want to go to school, or I want to start a business, or I want to open up my own daycare or whatever. And then just for them to switch it because it's really hard for them to be tied down to one thing. And then they change the way they feel. So it's almost like you got to come in and you got to, watch after them or pick up the slack in some way, shape, or form. I feel like more than any other Capricorn placement, besides the other water sign placements, but especially this one, you're not, what I like about this, you're not necessarily just 100% caught up into what it is that you're doing. You know what I'm saying? you allow yourself to be like, I think a lot of you guys dabble in the mystic arts. You're highly sensitive, so you're intuitive when it comes to other people. You can pick up on how other people are feeling. You can like, you're like the source of comfort for a lot of people. You can advise in a way like the amount of wisdom that you have is topped by few. You know, you have a lot of wisdom. Maybe you don't speak on it all the time. It could be a lot of things that you know and experience on a spiritual level that you don't say anything about. And a lot of you guys, you could be scared of it, or you could be like, man, I don't want to see dead people. I don't want to see these things. So you drink away these feelings and these things, and because the way reality is too, this is another thing, the way your reality, what's going on for you in reality, you know, from what you want to have, could be hard to bear at times. But like I said, you know, for many of you guys, you try to turn away from the spiritual side of things. You try to you like, man, no, I can't get caught up into follow my dreams. What? You go back and forth with that, because it can hurt you on a certain level not to, but then you feel like you got to do what practically makes sense, and sometimes you got to tune some of the spiritual stuff out because it could, you know, you feel like, man, I got work to do. This is reality, you know. I don't. It could be hard for you on a confidence level because as a Capricorn, you wanna have things that you accumulate, that you build towards, that can continue building, you know. But as a Pisces, Mars and Pisces, you get stuck in the way that you feel about that. You know, it can be a powerful, and when you're not sure about what direction you're going in, it weighs on your confidence quite a bit. You know, it can be easy for someone to hurt you, even though you may not speak about it, you may not show it, or none of those things. You can carry it for a long time. And many of you will spend years going back and forth with something instead of just acting on the opportunity. Say this, a good thing about this placement in being with a Capricorn sun sign, you can get into a more imaginative zone, native zone, allowing you to let loose a little bit more and be, you're not necessarily attached to what it is that you're building. You get what I'm saying? So you're able to leave a lot of the worry, the stress, things of that nature, and go off into your own little paradise. You know, whether it's just the way you feel, that other little world that you go off into, you're able to leave that and come into a more spiritual zone, a place to where you could just be. That's the good thing about this placement. I don't know if all of you allow yourself to do so, but if not, you should. You got a very high imagination and things of that nature. I really feel like with this placement, what can help you is just balancing your approach with what you feel. And at the end of the day, you know, I just say this. You got to be willing to sometimes participate and do those things that you love, that you like, and that you enjoy doing. Not those things to where you're just doing it because you have to. It gives a different outcome. You know what I'm saying? This placement, you know, since you're a Capricorn sun, it doesn't take you too far out. You know what I'm saying? You still have control over the way you feel. So I say, do the things that you love to do. Do the things that you want to do. And then you'll probably be more likely to get them done and be okay with it. And another thing, it's not that you can't get things done because you do. Just allow yourself to be in the zone sometimes, because I feel like that's what you do. Anyhow, be in the zone, just balance it out. Don't be in the zone too much all the time to where you're not getting anything done, you know. And be aware because you probably have like what it is that you're trying to build, but be aware of the route that you're taking to manifest it, because you could literally be seeing it in a way that is not really the way that you should be going. Okay, so just be mindful of that. But this has been Capricorn Sun with Mars and Pisces. I'm Butterfly to Light. I'll be back. Peace.